Hi guys, okay, here's the last video to review for your test. It is, of course, on compound probability. Probably the hardest part of this whole chapter, but I know you guys can do it. So here's another example. I know I posted 2 other videos on compound probability for this chapter and used tree diagrams. So this time I'm using a table so you can have both options to see what that looks like. So for this, my example is playing a dice game, and it's with 2 dice. And in order to win, you must have a roll that adds up to 10. So the sum of both of your dice has to add up to 10. So in my chart right here, this is how we would represent a dice game with 2 dice. These outcomes right here would be for the first dice, and the second dice has the same amount of outcomes. You're either going to roll a 1 through 6 on the first die and a 1 through 6 on the second die. And then inside each of these squares in the black numbers are all of the sums. So if you look, 1 plus 1 equals 2, 1 plus 2 equals 3, and so on in the whole table. So what we have to do is, what is the probability that we can win this game? That's what we want to know, right? We want to win. So if I told you that to win, you have to add up to 10, we need to look at all of these sums and find where all the 10s are. Well, if you do that, we have 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So we have 3 favorable outcomes, 3 ways to add up to 10, to have 2 dice add up to 10. And the total amount of outcomes is 36. Because if you look at this, it is a 6 by 6 square. So 6 times 6 is 36. 36 total outcomes, meaning 3 out of 36 times we should win the game. If we reduce that, we get 1/12. Probability of winning the game is 1 out of 12 times. So, question for you, is that unlikely, likely, certain, impossible? How would you describe the likelihood of winning my game that I created for you? Comment below again if you know the answer.